Hey there fellas, this is ZarakLeader635 on Gemmy Master Animatronics, and today I'm gonna make a review on this Santa Claus on the Deer's Back. I'm nowhere near kidding, that's the name of the product. So, when and how did I get this? You know, I'm in a bunch of in a bunch of websites that are intended, not websites, I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups that are intended for fairs and such other events where they sell used things, because you never know what you can find there. And in one of them, in one of those pages, I saw this photo. And of course, you guys are going to be like, what's that? It's just a pile of clothes. But I would be like, reindeer, Santa Claus, alert, 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 exterminate. So, what happened here? I went a little bit over an hour after I saw this, and there it was. So I purchased this for roughly 30 pesos, around there. It was really cheap actually. But of course, I'm glad I got it for cheap because this thing is a mess. This thing is brittle, the plastic is dried up, and I don't know how many years it's going to last from 2018, which is when I got it, or from now. I don't really know how many years it's going to last. I'm gonna go ahead and explain a little bit. First of all, let me show you how it's supposed to look like. The box, of course. Santa Claus on the Deer's Back, new, a pretty plain box. It's not really a big deal. I mean, it's just that. There's a logotype right there that doesn't say anything other than for ages 3 and up. So I'm not really sure what exactly that, means. Sadly, there's no company name or anything, but it's this one. It walks, it moves the arms, it plays 2 songs, and of course the reindeer walks. Its nose lights up as well, and the head moves up and down. Now, here's a little bit about the repairs I had to do to it. The first thing I had to do was not the battery cover, but it was one of them. First thing I had to do was I took it apart because I felt like there were pieces broken. This is terribly brittle. Everything is dried up, everything. I can even take the head off, and you guys are going to see what I mean. The plastic is all really, really crumbly, and I don't know how many years it's going to last, but that crack over there, the screw holders from the neck are snapped. There's a piece that I 3D printed for it, which I'll be showing in a second. There's the screw with what's left of a screw holder. But as I said, it's just terrible. And this thing, every time you move it a little bit, it's going to just make a cracking sound because it's somewhere just cracking. It's terrible. So I don't know how many years this thing's going to last. I really hope I can get a kick out of it because the fur it has is great. The mechanism is tin and it has some gears made out of metal. I replaced the motor so it worked slightly better and slightly faster. But I think I kept the inside rotor. I can't remember if I actually kept some legitimate parts. I must have, because I know that I think it worked slightly slower with the new motor, because I had these motors from that I got brand new, and they are good, they are sturdy, they are strong, but some are slow, so it was slightly slower. But anyways, as you guys can see, the head is of course from a musical walking Santa Claus, which makes me believe that the same company must have made one of those. It has this red cover that of course they could have put the speaker and the circuit board in the head, but they didn't. Kind of a clever decision if you think, twice. But they could have done it all with this red plastic that they did the top cover with, and the thing would be fantastically good. They just didn't, sadly. It sucks ass. But as I said, in the inside what you have is just a few metallic gears. There's the 6-tooth gear. There's what I believe was a 12-tooth gear somewhere around there. Must be on top of the selector gear. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see that shiny thing. Let me see if I can turn it on and... That's one gear, but the other gear is underneath there. Let me see if I can make it walk. There. Now the gear should be open. There we go. Okay, you guys see that's the gear. So as I said, it's well made. Again, mechanism's tin. A few gears are metal. It has a really good working, internal mechanism. But all of the plastic they used is crap. Surprisingly enough, the leg plastic hasn't started breaking down yet, but the back, as you guys can see over here, all of this shiny thing, this is all super glue and baking soda. It's just how bad it gets. All of this was broken. This is a piece that I had to print because the original just came apart in pieces. It shattered completely. This is the knob that spins when the gear goes down. This spins and it makes the arms go up and down. So again, it moves the arms. Let me see if I have any other photo. There we go. No. There. Here's the battery cover that I 3D printed for it. It didn't really turn out the best. I had to melt a few things because I was in a rush. But anyways, at least it's something. At least it covers the thing properly, and even if you move it a little bit without turning it on, it's gonna stay locked, so the batteries don't come out or anything. What else do we have? Of course, here's a little bit more of what I had to melt the plastic with my iron. You guys know how bad that had to be. I had to melt all the plastic because the thing was just terrible. And even after that, it kept on cracking. Of course, the speaker is at this side. It would be around here that it is. It's a big speaker, has a regular chip. Those old chips that are kind of almost clear board. It has one of those chips, and it only plays 2 songs, believe it or not. I thought it was going to play the 3 classic songs, but it only plays I Wish You a Merry Christmas and, We Wish You, I don't know how it's said, but We Wish You a Merry Christmas and Silent Night. That's all it plays. So, I mean, I'm guessing that's practically it. I had to print a total of 3 parts for it, if I recall correctly, because this was one, the knob was another one, and the battery cover was, I think, the last one. But I also had to print the holders, because there was a holder that was broken off. There was a holder that's good, but then there was the other one that I had to print as well. So, this thing had a lot of work put into it. And I'm not going to print or do anything else for it, because I know that at some point, it's just going to end up broken. So if I can do something that's fairly easy to fix this, I'll do it. If not, we're just going to let it sit to see what happens. If it ever breaks down badly and I can't fix it anymore, I'm just going to see if I can use the circuit board and all the parts inside it to fix my first bell ringing Santa that I have, the one that has the face all discolored and the Rasta-like beard. This would be really good for it. But anyways, as I said before, this goes to show just how bad this is. It's all broken, out of position. You see that? There's a fucking thing, there's a piece of plastic dangling there. That piece of plastic is from the front screw holder, so that goes to show just how brittle this is. Yeah, see, that's, again, I'm not gonna bother, but there you guys, you guys now know how bad this thing is. Anyways, once in its place, the head is posable. You can pose it. I usually put it like this because that's the best way you can see it at. You're not going to see too much like this. So I usually put it like that. So you can see the beard, you can see the Santa Claus, you can see everything. Just like many other Santas from that time, the beard is starting to, to look really bad. But at least it still looks fine. It uses 2 AA batteries, as you guys were probably able to see. And I guess that's everything for now. So, nose lights up. Has one of those things that they later on used as eyes. It has a regular LED. There's no effect to it or anything. There's not there's not any blinking or any mechanical relay or anything. It's just constantly connected to the power. So I guess that without further ado, we are going to show it now to see how this thing holds up after 20-ish years. So that's practically everything for the video. I guess I've shown everything. I mean, other than that, that's practically everything that has to be said about it. So I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I guess I'll mention it because, again, this is like the 5th time I try to do this goddamn video, and of course I've said different things in every single one. I'm trying to mesh them all up into this one to make sure I say them all. The antlers are rubber. The way this thing was assembled, and here's one thing that I do say a lot about these things, and it's that I hate the walking animals, and yet some people cannot understand why this thing is in one piece if I hate these things. It's because this is Christmas related. I haven't done any, repairs or anything on these walking animals that just walk and bark or some bullshit like the dogs, the cows, or anything since like 2 years. And that is because I've been taking a break from them. I really don't like the way they are made, and it's really tricky to put the skin back on without breaking anything. So it's just a question of I'll have to get to them at some point, but it won't be now, it won't be next week, nor next month, and probably not even next year. I'm not gonna even bother doing speculations about that, but this is a completely different, thing. When it's a walking animal that's Christmas, I'm fixing it. But this one was made again, this is the entire shell is basically this. It's basically the body of the Santa Claus and this. So what they did was they first put the reindeer skin through the hole. They're gonna say it has a hole here, and then what they do is they either glue or they tuck. They mostly just glue the skin down over here, but they tuck it here in this gap that there is. And what they do later on is they put the Santa Claus. The Santa Claus body is already placed with the arms and everything. The arms have a square shaft, and what they do is they just put them. They just push them so they get in. And then they just stitch the Santa Claus to the reindeer, first this and then the feet. But that's the way they assembled it. That's the way I did it. So, yeah, that's practically it for now. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching.